Hello, guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today we've got another month, which means another dev diary, another devlog for Prehistoric Kingdom. And this one's going to be a bit of a bigger one, so I'm really excited to get stuck into this one. Got some stuff about gameplay and some new updates coming. So yeah, we obviously missed out one in December because it's kind of like a holiday month. I think every dev deserves a holiday. A break from doing all that hard work. They've definitely earned it. So let's get started. So February 1st, let's have a look. So welcome to the January development update. Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you had a lovely holiday season with plenty of gifts and giving to go around. This blog post will be focused on what's to come in 2024, looking at the upcoming Update 10, as well as some other exciting additions coming throughout the year. So let's just jump right in. See this really beautiful picture here, tease of the map. So state of development. So last month in December, we released Update 9, featuring the grassland biome and a selection of fan-favorite animals like Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus. The reception to this update was really positive, and we quickly want to thank everyone who tuned in to play the game again. Yeah, it was a pretty cool update, very cool animals, very awesome. Both Update 8 and 9 have been our first major steps into making the animals feel more organic and alive, thanks to the overhauled locomotion and brain systems. This year we're going to continue this trend with adding more AI behaviors, animations, and the long-awaited introduction of baby animals, as we'll get into. So as a start, we've been tackling a long-standing community request, animal avoidance. Borrowing most of the technology currently used for guests, our goal is to give the animals a similar implementation, dynamic pathing around any oncoming creatures in a nice and performant way. Take a look at the progress we've made that'll be coming in Update 10. So this is work in progress, but it is speed up. So they will not walk into each other really. They try to avoid each other as best they can. Which is really, really cool. And it will obviously be a little bit more refined as it goes to release. But it's a big issue with Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution. Both Jurassic World Evolution's animals often clip into each other. So this is the best way to try and avoid that. So that's really, really good. Really adds to the immersion. So once Update 10 releases, players will see a dramatic decrease in animals walking directly through the middle of each other. And while there will be some clipping of head of tails, which is hard to get rid of without oversighting avoidance ranges for animals, it'll be a massive improvement on board. So it won't 100% get rid of clipping into animals, so sometimes head and tails will be mixed into each other, as you kind of see in that as well, but it'll reduce it enough to be not very noticeable, so that's very good. So Update 10, so this will be coming soon. So in mid-late February, players will be able to explore the frozen wilds of the Canadian Rockies in Update 10, building your park with a brand new modular theme and resurrecting extinct species straight out of the Ice Age. So it's the Ice Age pack, which is really cool. And for a new species, we can see joining the roster is none other than the Siberian unicorn, Elasmotherium. So this is a really highly aggressive one too. This large species of rhinoceros is best known for what is typically depicted as extremely large horn. However, in recent years, the exact size has become a topic of debate, as we'll get into. So this is Elasmotherium. So Elasmotherium, Siberian rhino, if you've seen Prehistoric Park, you'll know this guy. Quite an interesting animal, relative of modern rhinos. As we mentioned there, so what's happened with recently, there's been some research into looking at the skull of Elasmotherium to try and predict what the horn would look like. Traditionally, Elasmotherium is depicted with a long, 2 meter long horn like this. But there has been some research suggesting that it may have been more like a boss, a big keratin boss, or a much shorter horn, almost very similar to Pachyrhinosaurus, for example. So, which is really cool, and we'll see. And when cloning Elasmotherium, our scientists were fortunate enough to find a variety of horn shapes and sizes, depending on the genetic skin they're selected, which is very convenient. So you can see we've got kind of the best of both worlds. This one on the left is the more modern interpretation, with the smaller horn boss going on. It looks very superficially similar to Pachyrhinosaurus. And then you got here your more traditional Elasmotherium with the quite bit of longer 2 meters horn, which was the largest horn of any mammal, I believe. Any rhino, at least. But yeah, really, really cool. Definitely do like that. I like that we get the different interpretations as well. So you're more traditional, and the kind of recent evidence suggests that they would have had horns more like this. And plus it adds variety, which is cool. And then as well, that's not the only rhino joining us for update 10. So however, in East Asian fossil deposits, Sinotherium was a hairless ancestor to what would later become Elasmotherium. So this will be available in-game as an alternate species. Sinotherium is the perfect option for park manager that wants another grassland-based mammal. So this is a really cool one here. This is Sinotherium. So Sinotherium there is a group of rhinos, the Elasmotherium, I believe you say it, or something like that. And there's a few kind of relatives, and Sinotherium was one of those earlier relatives that later became Elasmotherium. So it lived a little bit earlier, I believe, like Pliocene, Miocene age. So this guy would have been a bit more well adapted for warmer habitats, like warmer grasslands, things like that. While Elasmotherium, it's kind of like your what's a good comparison? Like your African buffalo to your European bison or something like that. There's like the cold adapted version of this guy, or this is like the warm adapted version. So very similar animals, but adapted to warmer climates. And it's an alternate species, so it's very similar in most ways to Elasmotherium. And it looks really, really cool here. You can see it's got that more typical horn as well. Really looks more like your typical rhino. Very, very cool. And it's cool to see an animal that doesn't get too much love in it as well. And adds another habitat, so you get like a lot of variety just from one animal. So in total, that makes 2 species of rhino and 2 species of cave lion coming to the game in February. And the team looks forward to seeing all your gorgeous screenshots when update 10 releases. So as we mentioned, this is the 2 species. You've got Sinotherium and Elasmotherium with the 2 different variations. And here we've got 2 different species of Panthera or American lion. We've got the cave lion or Eurasian cave lion with this one here. This is I think the male and female. Or I believe this is just the European one. So you got the European one, which is Panthera splaya, and then you'll have Panthera atrox, which is the American lion or the American cave lion, as I kind of put it. So those will be interesting variation and gives you a lot of variety. And to go with these guys, a lot of Stone Age, Ice Age kind of animals. So going with that, which is really awesome, we got a theme. So this is the Stone Age theme. The Stone Age theme is a new collection of styles and building pieces inspired by Paleolithic and Neolithic architecture, which is so awesome. With items based on caves, early living, and budding civilization, we think this theme will truly make your park feel like a prehistoric kingdom. So this looks straight out of a Mammoth Hunter kind of, sorry if it's a bit slow. Straight over like a Mammoth Hunter, really Neolithic camp. You can see like the fish there, fish models. You can see also these like fences or these pots and pans made of clay, ropes and things like that. Looks straight out of like an early village, which is so cool. Also got these cave paintings as well, which looks so nice. I love that we managed to get like sauropods in that style. I think that fits so well. And we got mammoths and rhinos. Really, really cool. I hope that'll be expanded as well. And you can see we've got Stonehenge there and a little canoe there, like a Neolithic canoe, which is really cool and fits super well with the mammoth. So let's have a look. You can see you got some other like paw prints as well. It's a very, very cool theme. It'll really fit with a lot of your Ice Age animals and like recently extinct animals. That'd be cool. Or recently in terms of like 10 to 20,000 years ago, I'd say. But here we are, of course. A new building theme will not be complete without new fences too. So we look forward to see what habitats you build with these palisaded, it's called palisade, I believe you say that, and stone fences in update 10. So we can see here, really, really awesome. This is very much straight after Prehistoric Park or any like ancient cities kind of thing. So you got these really big logs with spikes. That looks very typical of those kind of zoos. This one is almost very typical like African ones, you know, so you can get a good look through that and barrier. And you got the short fences, which we all know and love. And this reminds me of very much of Zoo Tycoon. So we've got this one here, like a low stone fence, a lower like glass one, and I like this one with the holes in there, so almost like you're peeking through. Because I could imagine you could almost put like something in there and like hide the holes, so you can make it almost like you're peeking through. And I know a few zoos that have done that, so you like peek through and look at the animals. So that's really, really cool, and you could do that with that, which is awesome. And of course, new animals and new maps. As we mentioned, we're getting a new map. So finally we're arriving to the mountains of Canada. This map boasts gorgeous snowy views with a variety of foliage from boreal, coastal to grassland biomes. So this is a really interesting mix. Really nice Canada mix. So you can see it looks straight out of Jurassic World Evolution 2, but Prehistoric Kingdom, which is awesome. I love the mix of biomes in here. Look at that. You see the wonderful trees. and snowy mountains in the background. It's really just such a beautiful habitat. It's really coming so well. So awesome. Love it. And at night, players will be greeted with a stunning light show from the Aurora Borealis. So, at this time of year and this time of day in the part of the country, localized entirely within your zoo, yes, so stay tuned for release of Update 10. So, you get Aurora Borealis, which will be awesome as well and looks so nice. Hope you get Aurora Australis with some southern maps as well, that'll be pretty cool. So, that's for Update 10 coming in February, and now we've got the future. So, this is going to be later in 2024, and we've got some pretty cool big things coming for 2024. So, Update 10 is looking pretty cool. What about the rest of the year look like for the game? They have a few major pillars that are in development behind the scenes, with the aim to deliver them throughout 2024. As these pillars are quite the undertaking, we'll continue to release more art-centric updates, i.e. Update 10, to help prevent content drought while we work on them in the background. There were a number of months last year where the game did not receive support while we developed Update 8, and that is something we do not want to repeat. Very, very good thing to learn from, and very good. So grab your reading glasses and a drink, because you're about to see a lot of text. So that's actually a really good strategy, trying to keep updates, even smaller updates, and mix bigger updates in with that, so that's going to be cool. So first up, we've got staff and logistics. So this is a very big thing about the management, which I'm really excited to get into. So staff is going to be the heart of Prehistoric Kingdoms management. They are the connection to your park, your guests, and your animals. Beyond simply hiring the right people, it will be your job to ensure the park's layout is designed efficiently so that supplies for both guests and animals can be moved quickly. So in terms of development, we started to lay the groundwork for staff in the code base. We're doing a lot of design work, figuring out what exactly they should bring to the game and how they relate to upcoming logistic management systems. And while we'll be getting into exact gameplay details in a future post, we'd like to start by sharing our vision for various start types and what they offer. So you can see this is the more generalized staff as well. So generalist staff primarily interact with the guests and the back end or backstage side of your park. So taking the role of cashiers, janitors, or logistics. These are people that ensure that everything runs smoothly. A cashier, which tends to visitors and kiosks and stores, so deals with money, gives food, things like that, a little bit of cashier. Janitors as well, which clean toilets, trash, and deliver garbage to dumpsters. So very much to keep your park nice and clean. We want tidy parks, nothing gross. And then we've got logistics. So that delivers shipments from loading bays from various storage units around the park. So things like goods storage, animal feed, and warehouses. So they'll be very much trying to move everything around the park. So that's going to be a very cool management thing. And what makes them generalists, however, is that these roles aren't rigid. So if an urgent task appears and there's an idle staff member available, they'll be able to complete as long as it's a generalist job, for example. So if a canister is waiting vacantly with no customers to tend to, they might decide to go quickly clean up a pile of trash, which is a janitor job, or restock some merchandise shells or logistics jobs if they have nothing else to do. And once complete, the cashier will return to their original jobs. So that's cool. I like that. That's very realistic of what a lot of zoos and theme parks or places like that in life. So sometimes even me as an educator, I'll just go out and pick up some stuff, just some basic cleaning. So it's very similar in that regard. So our goal here is to maximize the utility of your generalist staff. So the park demands a raise slightly higher than your current workforce numbers. The players have a built-in safety net. And of course, if the demand continues to rise and trash gets out of control, the best move would be simply to hire more janitors. So yeah, that seems more realistic and can kind of help, stem if it's if no one's really busy, like if it's a slow day, people go around and do cleaning and stuff. It just depends. You just got to keep busy and do something at least. It doesn't really matter. It's a lot more plastic. And I think that's very basic things like cleaning and dealing with guests and maybe just helping carrying things and stocking shelves. That's something that pretty much anyone can do with minimal training. So that seems pretty realistic. And I quite like that as a mechanic. But then here we've got our specialist staff. So we've got a specialist staff that interact. So you can see these are, we'll have it open up, can't open up those. Can we open up this one? Yes, we can. So these are the different staffs. We'll have a look back in there. So specialized staff with specialized parts of the park management experience. Unlike generalists, they are fixed and can't be done by other staff types. So you can't, like, a security person can't go and pick up trash, for example, or go maintain enclosures. So These are the 4 specialist types of staff. So keepers restock animal feeders and enrichment, clean habitats, and deliver dung to compost heaps, as per usual. So that's your typical staff. Actually reminds me a lot of Prehistoric Park. Also, as well, veterinarians, so they help monitor habitats and for sick, injured, or pregnant animals, and can provide supplements and medication. So yeah, very typical. Looks quite nice. Engineers, they will repair damaged fences, modules, and build high security fencing. So they'll be on the go with that, which is quite cool. So they'll be responsible for maintenance and repairing and things like that. And then you've got your security, so they'll accompany staff into dangerous habitats and protect guests in case of emergency. So I know that realistically, in terms of security, any animal, most of the animals in game would be, if you compare them to real life animals, would be like protected content. You're not allowed to go in the enclosure without them being either chemically castrated or some way not castrated, chemically restrained, or just don't go there or in another enclosure. So realistically, you'd probably need multiple enclosures that you hopscotch. So you could be like, oh, I'm going to put them in here, and then I can clean out this enclosure, and then hopscotch it around. But yeah, that works well considering the context of Prehistoric Kingdom, because we probably can't do that in game. So having security and their staff would be alright. And then the other staff, not too dissimilar from other zoos, just picking up poo, feeding, and maintaining things. So that's pretty realistic in my opinion. I can understand why security is a thing. And I probably, if we were keeping it more realistic, you probably wouldn't have security. But considering the caliber of animals, we have giant sauropods and elephant-sized, meat-eating predators like T-Rex and Spinosaurus. I understand why security would be an extra thing. It'd be like another extra thing because we have such big, dangerous animals in the zoos. Typically, zoos obviously have much smaller animals and would do it through protected contact and also using different enclosures. But within the context of the game and with the animals, it makes sense to have security. Sounds good to me. So when can we hear more? So there's a lot to cover with staff and logistics gameplay. We'll be doing a more in-depth blog post when we have more in-game content to show. So that'll be interesting as well. And I'll definitely be covering that. So this is going to fundamentally change and set the direction for challenge mode going forward. And we're likely to run some early feedback builds for public on the public testing branch once we get to that stage. If you're waiting for Prehistoric Team to get more meat in its management bones before jumping in, please stay tuned to these dev diaries and we'll be wanting your feedback in a few months. So it's really, really cool. I like these systems. I really like that they're going with the management, not just the building. The building is pretty much amazing. And now they're really going to get into the management, which makes the actual gameplay. But speaking of managing, we got little babies. So this is ontogeny. So ontogeny is basically the fancy word for babies growing into adults and how you grow up. So this year, the team will be adding the process of ontogeny to Prehistoric Kingdom. So in real time, you're able to watch your animal seemingly grow from tiny, cute little babies to gangly adolescents and to fully grown adults who've already been incubating in the park. So it's not just simply scaled down adults. Baby animals will have soft appearances, smoother skin, different proportions, and make the most adorable of squeaks, which I'm so excited. You know how much we love little babies. Are going to be very, very cute. So you can see an early test of our Apatosaurus above, showcasing snubbier snouts, a lack of spinal ornaments, and their baby skin patterning. And you cannot tell me these are not the cutest little guys. Look at these little cuties. And I don't know if we actually have many baby Apatosaurus. I think we do. We have a pretty good idea of what a lot of baby dinosaurs look like, so we can definitely add that in, so that's really cool. So how will this work? So over time, the animals will seamlessly blend between their life stages, growing into their mature silhouettes and fading into their adult coloration. And if you go to play or have seen footage of the old demo in 2017, you'll know exactly how this works. And if you've played games like Saurian is a very similar system with growth stages. They seamlessly kind of blend into each other. So I hope that loads. Let's see if it's going to load. Oh, it's not going to load. Anyway, so you can see what changes go on through there. Let's see. No, it's not going to load. Okay, so you can see Saurian, little baby, you kind of go sub-adult and then adult. So it's just the 3 stages. So you can see the baby ones, little cute little colors, and then it's going to slowly blend into as it goes through adolescent to adult, and it's going to seamlessly blend into those. So how many baby skins will there be? So both technical or memory constraints, we're limiting the baby skin pattern to 1 per animal. And this means regardless of the skin of you've been chosen, all designs for a given animal, e.g. Apatosaurus, will all appear the same as birth and eventually grow to their selected skin color. And there may be a few exceptions to this as development continues, but generally the rule is 1 baby per skin, 1 baby skin per animal. But we should like to know that, however, baby animals will have individual color variations. Each hatchling, calf, or kitten will look slightly different from another. So they still have some variation, but it'll be typically 1 baby skin, which makes sense. A lot of baby animals kind of have a baby skin. Like tapir is a good example. They look very different from adults. And I imagine some of the mammals as well. Like if you got a primal mammoth skin that's just like a dark one, it's only just a dark baby that might have the same one. But there's still going to be variation and hue changes as babies, so it's not going to be all just the same baby over and over again. There's still going to be variation like there is with the adults. And how will players create baby animals? So in Sandbox, players will be able to pick the age of any animal when creating them in the nursery. In Challenge Mode though, however, we're planning to make that part of the research tree. So if players want adult specimens at the beginning of their challenge game, they'll have to go through different means to acquire them. So, future mechanics. I quite like that as well, because starting with baby animals, especially maybe with smaller hatcheries and things like that, you got to kind of grow up. And a lot of zoos, when they have little baby hatchlings of animals, they'll have like 30 of them, and then they'll have to move them through different enclosures as they grow up. That would be a cool mechanic as well. And more info on revised animal creation and acquisition gameplay will be coming in the future, so that's cool as well. And breeding. So breeding is something that a lot of people have been requesting, and we agree that it feels like the next step for ontogeny. So, no, of course, we know we got to go from growing the babies, we got to make the babies first. So that feels like the next step, and having a really good breeding is a very important thing for most zoos as well. So it'd be very weird for PK to have that and not have that. So it'd be cool that we're getting it. But with that said, we'll be focused on developing the core experience first. So we're developing ontogeny first, and then they're going to go into additional gameplay with breeding and how that'll change the game. Like courting displays, things like that. I imagine there'll be a lot more in terms of that. But so we've got another animal coming in later update. So arriving late in the year in update 12, we've got the most beloved gentle giant, Apatosaurus. So this enormous creature is a first dinosaur included in Prehistoric Kingdom to be the part of the superfamily known as Diplodocidae, which is a group of sauropods best recognized for their immense length and whip-like tails. So that includes Diplodocus and Barosaurus, animals like that. We're still working on this animal, of course, painting the other skins, animating, etc. But we really wanted to start off 2024 with an early look at one of the biggest creatures coming this year. So we have a really good book, Apatosaurus Ajax. And look at this beautiful guy. I love this color with the bright reds and blacks. That looks so beautiful. And love the colors. Looks so nice. And then we've got here a really nice picture. It probably won't load, which for some reason internet's being internet. But really, really awesome. So coming alongside Apatosaurus, this wonderful guy here, we have an alternate species with a household name and much dubious fame. Well, I hope you enjoyed this concept art of what will eventually become the mighty thunder lizard Brontosaurus. So it's adorned with the Bronto smash neck spikes and a cluster of lethal spikes at the tip of the tail. This classic from the Jurassic has never been so good. So the story of Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus, originally Brontosaurus was the first one named, and then Apatosaurus was the first one named, and then Brontosaurus was also named and then lumped into Apatosaurus. But in 2015 or so, which is almost 10 years ago now, there was actually found to be different species again. So that's really cool. We got Brontosaurus back because it's such an iconic name. And there was also things Bronto Smash. There was some research looking into the vertebrae that suggests they may have had spikes going down their neck, and they had very, very powerful necks that are able to kind of move down and flex fast. So it's kind of come up with the hypothesis that they would be fighting and swinging their necks at each other like giraffes, or potentially like elephant seals, like bashing each other, which came up with the term Bronto Smash. So I think that's another really cool thing as well that we're getting. I might actually just make it bigger so we get a good look. Oh, wait. So like that, there we are. Maybe even a little bit bigger. We'll go a little bit bigger. So like that, there we are. So you can see the big cool pattern there. This is very much based on one of the older patterns back from the early 2010s, which is awesome and looks so beautiful. I love the skin, and I'm glad it's got revamped and changed to fit Brontosaurus so well. And then we've got this wonderful skin as well for Apatosaurus. It looks so nice. So let's go back to 150. There we are. Really, really nice. And a really cool animal that we're going to get. I'm definitely a big fan. Happy, happy, happy. So, news roundup. So, grabbing your digging tools and call us a fossil, because February the 14th, Prehistoric Kingdom will have existed for 10 years. So, while this project was first created all the way back in 2014, we were teenagers, high school students, and young adults in college. This project, iteration upon iteration, has been a learning, growing, and meeting amazing, like-minded individuals who share a passionate love for not just the genre, but for prehistoric life as a whole. So it's been a really big community, and we obviously love the community. It took a number of years before Prehistoric Kingdom started to get anywhere, but we're still not as fast as the big studios making games like this. But we love our baby and couldn't be more grateful for having the opportunity to develop this game. And for our team, our families, backers, Critivos, players, and fans, thank you. So, yeah, it's been a long ride, but we're actually starting to really make some progress, especially with Critivo being able to back the game after the Kickstarter. It's really just allowed this game to really mature into the vision of what's really been wanted by the devs in a game that I think we're all going to love, especially because it's made by fans for fans of the genre and fans of prehistoric animals. There's just a lot of love going into this game, which you don't often see these days, sadly, in a lot of places, and most things are sequels and just cash grabs and making things, just producing them, putting them out. But yeah, this is a game that's really a labor of love, which is very rare in these days, and this is the beauty of indie games. A lot of them are just a labor of love. But yeah, we can see the changes here. You can see the Triceratops as the first Triceratops and graduated to the most recent one in game, which looks like the beautiful scales and everything. It just shows how beautiful it is. But yeah, anyway, we're going to start off with end it off with the community spotlight. So we've got Assassin Spino, who really gave us this wonderful picture. You can see swimming through like a marsh with lots of flowers and everything. I think there's a lot of paleo art that's reminiscent of this. It really looks so wonderful. Another written one by Hex MSMB. So he created this little sign, no photography, a little bit of a aviary there, and Archaeopteryx. Urthocarbota, and then you can see the size chart there with a nice little area there. Looks really nice, and some footprints too, really cool. And last but certainly not least, we've got Incognito, I believe that's the name. We've got a herd of Argentinosaurus and like a little Coelophysis watching in the corner there. It looks very straight out of like the wild. It looks straight out of the late Cretaceous or middle Cretaceous. Those Coelophysis is about like 100 million years at a time, or even probably 110, 120, because this guy has come from the Jurassic. But these equivalent species are probably quite similar to us. Anyway, so huge thank you for reading the January Deep Diary. We hope this post has gotten you excited for the year ahead. The babies look so cute. I definitely agree there. And that everyone is looking forward for Update 10's arrival in February. So yeah, so there's a big update. Covered a lot. Just makes me more excited. A big fan, of course. Couple new species coming around. Very, very nice. So, yeah, I think we've covered it all. Very excited to see what Prehistoric Kingdom's going to become in 2024 and beyond. Definitely a project I've been following since the beginning, and fallen in love with it. Love the devs behind it. Very much a passion project, and excited to see how just amazing it's going to come out in the end. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to hit the little bell icon to get notified about anything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.